Okay, in our final examples, what we're going to do is we're going to write equations in vertex form, but we're going to do it from points. So write in vertex form from this point. So if I give you the vertex, and the vertex is 4, 1, and then I tell you the point is 6, -7. So again, here's our vertex form. F of x is equal to a x minus h squared plus k. So what I do know is this. I do know that I can plug in a 4 right here. All right, still keeping this minus, and then plus, and then a 1. Right? But there is one letter that we need to know, and it's the A. So how do we solve for the A? Well, we're going to use this other point. And so this other point is really your X and your Y, or AKA your F of X. So we're going to plug in those other points into where we need them to be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take away F of X, and I'm going to plug in -7. And then I'm going to take away the x, and I'm going to plug in 6. So now what do I know? I just need to figure out what my a value is. So I have -7 is equal to a 2 squared plus 1. I'm going to subtract the 1 to the other side. So -8 is equal to 2 squared times a. So this would be 4a. Divide by 4. A is equal to -2. So when I write it in my vertex form, that's all I need. So f of x is equal to -2, and then x minus 4 squared plus 1. So basically, you're always solving for your a value. Now, we can actually know that, that it was going to be a negative value because I could have kind of plotted the vertex. So 4 and 1 is probably somewhere right about here. So I'm either opening upward or I'm opening downward. And then my point, what was the point that I used? 6, -7. So, so again, if this is 4 and 1, so maybe 6 and -7 is over here. So it'd be down here. So again, I probably have something going on in this direction. Okay, so I know that it opens downward, hence the negative in the A, but I still have to figure out what my other values are, and I have to do it through this process. So let's try one more together, unless you want to pause and try this one on your own. So I believe this will be example 6. It's a little bit more challenging. I'm going to throw some fractions in there, so that way we know how to deal with them. So again, write in standard form from this. So here is our vertex. So our vertex is -1/4, comma, -1. And the point that we are going to use is 0, comma, -17/16. So if you want to go ahead and pause the video and try this one out on your own, that's fine, but I understand fractions are always difficult, so if you don't want to pause it, not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug things in. Here's my h and k, here's my x, here's my f of x. All right, so this is going to be -17/16 is equal to a, and then my x, 0, minus -1/4, that's important, and then plus -1. Let's see, we have -17/16, and this will turn out to be 1/4 squared, and then -1. I'm going to change the -1 to a -16/16. So I just multiply top and bottom by that. So it made my life a little bit easier. I'm going to add 16/16 to both sides. So I will get -1/16 is equal to a times, and this will be 1/16. So how do I get 1/16a to equal that? Well, easy peasy. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Or you probably already noticed the answer should be -1 because the 16s are going to cancel out. So A is equal to -1. Easy peasy. So my equation should be f of x is equal to -1. And then x, and notice that this was negative and a negative, so this will turn to a positive. So 1/4 squared, and then -1. Okay, so that's all we have to worry about.